Gemini, you have another quintessential new moon card here with death. It's about transformation, shedding, just like we shed our uterine lining at the dark moon in the beginning of a new cycle. You can see the sliver of it here, giving us just a peek, just a hint at what may be underneath, like the tip of the iceberg. It's an exciting time. We're undergoing a perceptual change about what the nature of reality looks like and reimagining the self. This can indicate a time of ego death, a dark night of the soul. But we should remember that every death is also a birth, a rebirth, a birth into the other world, the new world. It's all a matter of perspective. At this time, it seems like you have a lot, you've achieved a certain amount, something that you had been working hard to achieve, and then suddenly discovered it didn't mean as much to you as you thought it might. You're still feeling unfulfilled. There's something really important missing. And it looks like something that may be keeping you from getting that missing piece is a big burden that you're carrying. Or maybe that missing piece in itself feels like carrying a big burden. Either way, there's something that needs to be put to rest, something that needs to be shed. And what I think that is the weight of the judgments of others, of society, the weight of expectation. Isn't that interesting? Because from this perspective, it's not that you don't have everything you need. You're a success. Objectively speaking, you're a success. So what are you still so unhappy about? What is it that's missing? Maybe it all comes down to the expectations that you have set up for yourself that continue to make you feel small, that make you feel like you're never good enough, you've never achieved enough. Because I wonder if those were expectations that came from a place of centeredness, of a real understanding of what's valuable to you, or if this was somebody else's set of expectations, if they were handed down to you by an authority, by a book, if they were just the expectations that you always accepted but never questioned. Well, now is the time to question them and to shed the ones that are feeling like a burden to you at this point. What you're missing is love, companionship. She's alone in this card, and there's a Page of Cups here. What you're missing is companionship. Maybe you've had a series of unhealthy relationships in your life. And what's interesting is whether you're alone or with someone, I'm getting that it always feels like a burden. It feels like a burden no matter what you do. And that's because of those expectations. The expectation that you're so smart, you're so talented, you've got everything else figured out. Well, why the fuck is she single? Why can't she figure that out? What's wrong with her? These are the things that are running through your mind. These are the things making you feel like you must be incomplete, you must be missing something without that significant other in your life. It's depriving you of joy. Those expectations that were put on you by others, even though they feel like so much of a deep part of your soul at this point, they're depriving you of joy. They're depriving you of that joy that you've done so much work to try to build, to find. They're a source of great sorrow for you. The thoughts that you have are a source of great sorrow. This new moon is a chance to process those thoughts and let them go. I know you can't let them go just by wishing, so you really do have to go through the processing. Okay, you have to lay them to rest. You have to grieve them. You practically have to have a funeral for them, dig a grave, say a eulogy. Say a eulogy for this version of you, the one that has allowed your expectations to tie you to what's destroying you, to toxic people, to toxic dynamics. The only way to say goodbye to them is to say goodbye to those expectations that are holding you down. I love that the Queen of Swords came out here. It feels very appropriate because the Queen of Swords is the woman who has faced the harshness of reality and for that reason chooses to be alone, has ended up alone. But the difference is she's doesn't feel like she's missing out. She rules. Her sword is upright. She sees reality for what it is and accepts that. It's a bit of a cold vibe that she's giving us, but that's the vibe of this moon. There's no reason to fear solitude, just like there's no reason to fear death. This is not the end. This is simply what cuts you free.